All righty. I think we're up. I think we're live now, but I'll just give it a second to make sure. But thank you for everyone who is here currently. I'll give this just a minute to make sure that we're up and running smoothly before we begin today. All righty, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm hoping the live stream is running smoothly now. Everything we do, I feel like we run through a few technical difficulties before we get it going smoothly, but we're up, we're going. So good afternoon or good evening, depending where you are, Wynn Resorts. My name is Dr. Justin Pooter. I go by Dr. J. Yes, you might hear my very hungry dogs barking in the background, but I'm a licensed psychologist who specializes in anxiety and stress reduction. Some of you might have seen me a few weeks prior from the Boston Encore Bunch when I did the webinar on meditation, mindfulness, and stress reduction. So today I'm super excited to be talking across Wynn North America on the awesome concept of gratitude, specifically cultivating gratitude through meditation. I thought it was so awesome when I heard that gratitude is one of your core promises there at Wynn, and showing gratitude is exactly how it's worded. And then Jeanette over in the learning and advancement section that's part of the Boston team said that they have a weekly gratitude meeting every Friday before they go into the weekend where they can share their gratitude towards each other. And I'm going to explain why, from a psychological perspective, that this is such a great thing and why it's good for us physically, psychologically. But first, I have some reflections question for you that I would love to hear your responses to. So my first question is, how does it feel to be around someone who is deficit focused? And so what is deficit focused? Let me explain that really quickly. So someone who is more deficit focused, they're quick to highlight what's wrong with the situation. They might pick at you constantly or be adjusting or correcting you. They might be overlooking your work. And even in your personal life, it might be someone who is negative, down. They don't feel good about themselves. Everything sort of stinks. And they always kind of have this mindset that everything's going downhill, and they're quick to highlight the bad in a situation. So what is it like when you're around somebody who's primarily deficit focused? And I know there's a short delay, so I'll wait for a second to see some of your responses. As I'm waiting, I'll just say, in psychology, for a long time, we used to be in psychotherapy when people would come in for treatment. We used to be very deficit focused. We try to figure out what's wrong with somebody, what's wrong with the situation, and primarily focus on that. But what we've learned over time, that this measure of treatment actually leaves out all the things that people are doing well. So here's a great response from Roderick Hunter. It feels draining and exhausting, especially when they only detail problems with no solutions to them. Wow, I completely agree with that, right? That's something that can happen in any workforce where someone is just highlighting, look at all these different things that are going wrong right now. But again, they're not adding and trying to help us solve, well, okay, but what are we going to do about that? That can pull us down into, again, just feeling kind of down about the situation and not feeling, how do we get out? How do we actually pivot from this position? I very much agree. Any other thoughts, feelings about how it feels to be around somebody who's more deficit focused, just picking out what's wrong? as I kind of highlighted as a therapist, if we only pick out people's deficits, it actually leaves people feeling really bad about themselves, because all of us are doing things at all times that are actually good, that are strengths, that we can build on those and lift us up, which until the early 2000s, we hadn't really found that out in psychology, that we really need to focus on people's strengths, not just what's wrong. So I'm not seeing any other responses. So I'll ask the next question, which is, how does it feel to be around somebody who's threat focused? So people who are more threat focused are constantly worried and anxious about an incoming threat. They might appear stressed, on edge. They're constantly giving feedback regarding that we have to prepare for the worst case scenario or something going wrong. In your personal life, this just might be somebody who's like constantly on the go, constantly moving in an anxious way. And they'll have thoughts that they kind of overthink most situations, and they're constantly worrying. And they may actually be indecisive and find it hard to make decisions. So what's it like when you're around somebody who's more threat focused? I don't think there's any responses to that, but we'll keep it moving. So most people, when they feel around somebody who's a big worrier and a big threat focused person, most people will feel that anxiety. Roderick, again, this is exhausting too, because these people don't allow you to be in the moment, which for me just increases my anxiety as well. Yes, I love that, right? They're constantly pulling you into the future of these what if scenarios and worst case scenarios. And while it's great to be prepared, think about what that does to our present moment if we can't ever sink in and enjoy and just be present with one another. Most people feel very anxious and stressed out about people or around people who are very threat focused. It actually makes a team or a business feel very uneasy. And so people who are predominantly that way can spread that stress throughout a system. So John says it can be stressful when you are always preparing for the worst. That's exactly what we know. And what we know in psychology is people who have certain anxiety disorders, people who have certain depression disorders can get stuck in catastrophizing. Is it good when we're in any business to sometimes prepare for worse so we can pivot? Yes. But if that's our primary way of interacting with people, there's always a threat coming. It's going to tip our team and the people around us and make stress be the predominant thing that we all feel. So you guys have great responses and great kind of authentic reactions to what that feels like. So finally, what's it feel like to be around somebody who's more gratitude focused? So someone who's more gratitude focused, these are people that highlight success, positives. They're quick to congratulate other people. These are people who find opportunity within stress to highlight the things that went well. And so in your personal life, this could be someone who you're really present with. They listen to you, they engage with you, they're there in the moment. They're not planning for the future, all these threats. They're not stuck in the past trying to figure out all these things that went wrong. But there's someone that thanks you for your connection, for your contributions. So what's it feel like when you're around somebody who's more gratitude focused? As I cultivate some gratitude that my hungry dogs for the moment have stopped barking in the background. I should have fed them beforehand. You know how animals are. It feels great. And like your time spent is spent well around these types of people. It always encourages feelings of motivation and excitement. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful word to say. Motivation and exciting, right? Because it says these activities, my contribution, is going to be honored and recognized. I don't know what could be more exciting than that. The places where I put my energy are going to be, again, honored. So that's awesome. It makes for a great work environment. I agree with you there, Bobby, for sure. Great. It definitely builds a positive culture and makes going to work enjoyable. John, you're spot on with that. And tell your dogs, hey, you know what? Sometimes we just got to honor what we feel in the moment. I feel you that you're hungry. I'm going to eat exactly after this as well. So they're definitely not cultivating much gratitude in this moment. But these are awesome responses, and they're great reflections to think about, because all of us at times can be deficit focused. We can get kind of in this mode where we're too absorbed in what's wrong. Especially right now during COVID-19, a lot of people can be stuck in this mode of, gosh, I'm not able to go out and do the things I used to be able to do. I don't like this new form of life, getting really stuck in all the things that are wrong. Instead of, when we think about it more of a gratitude mindset, a lot of us have been able to have more downtime. We've been able to connect more with some people because we have that time at home. We've gotten to save some money, maybe not commuting as much. And threat focus the same way. People can get stuck in this mindset of always wondering what will drop next. And it does. It pulls us out of the moment. So what we know, I'll share a little bit before we get into our practice portion, which I know that's why a lot of you all are here, is that we can cultivate this gratitude together. And so what we know through psychology and research is basically when your mind is in a state of gratitude, you light up the pathways in your brain that release serotonin and dopamine. And these help regulate our mood. They help lift us up. When you're in a stress mindset, a deficit mindset, a threat mindset, you're stuck in the middle of your brain, activating the centers that trigger fight, flight, or freeze. And these centers of our brain have us being really reactive. These aren't the centers of the brain where we cultivate much wisdom. We're just in survival mode. All of you can think of somebody who's maybe a little bit more deficit focused, threat focused. A lot of times it feels like they're just stuck in survival mode, but that's not exactly how we thrive, especially in a business or in our personal lives. So what we know is people who are more grateful have overall better psychological profiles, increased well-being, increased happiness, decreased depression, decreased aggression, and stress. One of the coolest things I think about gratitude, and this has been researched a number of times, is people who cultivate more gratitude overcome very stressful situations quicker. So they've done these studies looking at people who have gone through trauma, even measuring their gratitude before and after doing a big trauma like going to war. And what they find is people who are more grateful are able to pivot and come back to the moment instead of being stuck in a stressor and replaying it over and over again in the mind. And this is a beautiful thing, right? Because many of us will have that experience of, oh, my mind just runs rampant. I have no control of this thing, especially when I'm under high stress. But research has shown time and time again, by cultivating gratitude, by practicing the type of meditation that we're about to do, we can actually slow down and activate other parts of our brain that allow us to adapt better to any stressor, work stressor, life stressor, anything at all. Another cool thing about gratitude is it helps improve our physical health. So obviously, if we're experiencing less stress, less depression, anxiety, physically, we feel better. And one of the best benefits of this is people with more gratitude find it easier to go to sleep at night and take better care of themselves. It's far easier to take better care of yourself when you're appreciative and coming into the moment and not stuck in, gosh, what's wrong with this situation all the time. So let's practice. Let's practice cultivating some gratitude here together today. So meditation is one way we can do this. I'll talk at the end other ways that we can cultivate gratitude, but today we're going to do it through meditation. So even when I say the word meditation, different ideas come to mind, right? And our ego can tell us, this isn't for me. I don't want to do this thing. I've tried this once before. Just notice that. Notice kind of what your ego might be telling yourself. The metaphor I love to use, and this fit perfectly today, is the way we should think about meditation is very much like a practice, like exercise. 2 hours ago, I was just outside running in the Florida heat. I'm down here in South Florida. It feels like summer already. The humidity's here. And I was cramping in my shoulder. I was cramping on my side. And when I finished, how did I feel? I didn't feel that great. It wasn't a great run. Wasn't great during the run. Wasn't really great feeling afterwards. But does that mean I shouldn't have exercised? No, right? Because each time we exercise, we're going to feel different. And it's okay. It's okay that I felt different. I was cramping up out there. Same thing with meditation. As we practice today, your mind might drift off. You might begin to worry. You might become more threat focused or deficit focused. Start planning that dinner you're about to have after this. It's okay. When we practice meditation, what we want to do is learn how to bring our attention back to the present over and over again. And when you think about the great bosses, managers, coworkers that you interact with at Win, the ones you really connect with are really good at coming back to the moment over and over. They're not stuck drifting out in all these other modes. So let's practice that together. You might be a first-time meditator, and this is a great place to start. So wherever you are, we want to get in a posture that is sort of more upright. You can try laying down if you want, all the way down. Maybe you feel more relaxed. I'll make sure I project. You can turn up the volume on your phone or your laptop, however you're watching this. But getting in an erect posture usually allows the oxygen to flow better and bring us into the moment. So once we're in this posture, a little more upright, we want to slowly tuck our chin down. And then if we feel more comfortable, we can gently close our eyes. And the first thing we want to gain control of is our breathing. And the reason why we control our breathing and deepen our breathing is because when we do this, we activate the rest and restore center in our brain and body, which is called the parasympathetic nervous system. So we do this by activating our clearing breaths. So together we take a nice deep inhale through the nose, feeling our shoulders rise, our chin rise, breathing in all the way to the base of the lung, and then just slowly exhaling out completely through the mouth, sinking into this moment together. Then taking another nice, slow, deep inhale through the nose. You might feel your chin rise, your shoulders rise, and then just slowly breathing out completely. Taking one last deep breath through the nose, really allowing this air to reach the very base of our lungs. And then exhaling out completely through the mouth, letting go into this moment as we cultivate some gratitude and slow down together. And then just allowing your breathing to fall into this deep natural rhythm. Slowly inhaling out through the nose and slowly moving out through the mouth. And we're going to allow this breathing to stay nice and deep, feeling our gentle stomach expand and contract. But we're going to allow our mind to focus on the things we're grateful for, beginning with focusing our mind on all the things we're grateful for in our home, our house, the place that we live, the place that we stay. So just allowing our mind in this moment to picture your home, your house, your apartment, and start imagining the things that you have in them. Maybe it's clothing, maybe it's food, but just taking this pause right now, having gratitude for all the things in your home as we slow down together in our busy lives. Imagining the gratitude we have to have clothing, for our bed, maybe for cherished items like books, photos. But just spending this pause together as we breathe in slowly and deeply, cultivating gratitude for the things we have. And then transitioning from the things we have and cultivating gratitude for our current situation. It might be the fact that we have this job, that we're able to work. It might be our health, especially in a time of COVID and so much uncertainty. It may be for our relationships, but just cultivating gratitude for our present situation. Maybe it's being able to slow down and be at this training where we can cultivate gratitude together. And if your mind's drifted off and you're thinking or planning, that's okay. Each time with compassion, steer it back to the gratitude, to this moment. And moving from the gratitude of the things in our life, of our current situation, and now cultivating some gratitude and kindness towards a specific coworker at Win. So allow a coworker that comes to mind that you work with at Win Resorts. Think of this person who you work with, who has shown you kindness, patience. Maybe they've supported you or encouraged you. But as we keep our deep rhythmic breathing, allow somebody who you're grateful for at Win Resorts to come to mind. It could be your boss, could be your favorite coworker you get excited to see, but just picture them in your mind. And we repeat this silent mantra, which helps stimulate gratitude and kindness. We picture this coworker in our mind and we say, may they be safe, may they be healthy, and may they be at peace. Taking a nice big deep breath through the nose, we breathe in this gratitude, this stillness, this kindness. Exhaling out through the mouth, we breathe out all the stress we can hold in our lives. And once more, picturing this person who's shown us kindness, shown us time or patience, who's encouraged us at Win Resorts. Imagining them in our mind, maybe even picturing them doing something for us, but picturing them in our mind and saying to ourselves, may they be safe, may they be healthy, and may they be at peace. Taking a nice deep big inhale through the nose, breathing in the stillness that you've cultivated, exhaling out through the mouth, all the worry, all the stress. And now picturing someone at your work who may need your kindness, your gratitude. Maybe it's a coworker you haven't talked to in a while or checked in with. But just imagining someone there at Win Resorts who might need your kindness, your love, your appreciation, your time. And imagining this person in your mind and repeating, may they be safe, may they be healthy, and may they be at peace. Taking a nice deep inhale through the nose, breathing in this kindness, this gratitude we've cultivated, and exhaling out completely through the mouth. And now finally, as we keep our breathing nice and deep in this moment, allow us to spread this gratitude across all our coworkers at Win Resorts, people working at other branches, at other resorts, people we don't get to see a lot, but all people across Win Resorts trying their best to be good employees, to be kind and good to the guests. But picturing all people across your work and saying to yourself, may we all be safe, may we all be healthy, and may we all be at peace. Taking that nice deep inhale through the nose, breathing in this kindness, this gratitude that we've cultivated, Exhaling out completely through the mouth, bringing a gentle smile to your face. And then wherever you are, go ahead and gently begin to move your hands, move your feet. Begin to open your eyes, allowing the light to come in. Noticing your room, your space as a whole. Noticing how you feel in this moment. As we just spent a few minutes together, moving inward, cultivating some stillness, cultivating some gratitude together. And my question for you, as you went through that experience, as we can feel something different each time we practice, is what was that like for you? What did you experience during that meditation? I'm going to sip some tea as I wait for the responses. I know for me, especially when I come out of a more gratitude-focused meditation, a lot of meditations, I'll come out feeling a little bit lighter, but there's something sort of uplifting when we focus our mind on gratitude. And again, we can get plagued by the news, get plagued by so many things going on in our life that make us feel more fear-based, feel more stressed. But when I come out of a gratitude meditation, I can really feel the lightness like in my chest. And so some people refer to that as meditation joy, but it feels really great. So let's see here. It's always relaxing to take a moment out of the day to meditate. John, I'm with you there. I know when we take that pause, whether we're focusing on gratitude, just our breathing, just sounds, that it can allow our brain and our bodies to reset a bit. So I'm totally with you on that one. Bobby said that it was very calming, peaceful, and I opened my eyes with a smile. I agree with that. I think that's something that's very specific to this kind of meditation. That kindness and again, that gratitude that's within us and it's always there. And sometimes we just need to take a pause and think about all the things we're grateful for, the great people at Wynn Resorts we're grateful for. It really adds this lightness, this uplifting energy. Karen shared relaxing as you feel the stress leaving your body through every breath. Definitely, right? The power of the deep breath. It's such a thing, and it can be kind of cliche. People be like, take a deep breath. But a lot of people don't know, why does that work? But at the base of our lungs, all those neurons that activate that parasympathetic system, they're right there. So when we keep our deep rhythmic breathing like you experience, most people will feel that stress. You might feel your shoulders come down, your chin come down a bit. A lot of tension can leave our body. I'm definitely with you on that one. Yeah. I really appreciate you all taking that pause with me. I'll definitely stay on for a bit and answer any questions that you might have, whether it's questions about gratitude, whether it's questions about stress reduction, stress in the workplace. I'd be happy to stay on here for a few minutes and help guide you forward. So let me know. I'll pause for a bit because I know there's that delay. When me and Jeanette were testing this out earlier, there's about a 10-second delay there. So I'll pause and see if there's any additional questions for me. Oh, Bobby, you're so on point with that one. Bobby says your beautiful snake plant would be grateful for a bigger pot. What I can tell you, Bobby, you can check out my YouTube, A Modern Therapist. I have so many snake plants out on my sunny Florida porch. They grow like wildfire. They are very happy out here in Florida. But this one did make the sacrifice of coming in my house. It gets the afternoon sunlight here through my blinds, but they just grow so fast. And it makes me so happy. I love seeing the growth from plants like that. Yeah, yeah. Well, as questions may or may not come in, I'll touch on a couple of things that I think are really important. Slowing down to meditate and cultivating gratitude like this. There's so many different, you can look up on YouTube, gratitude meditation, loving kindness meditation. If this style of meditation really vibed with you, if you really felt something from it. But gratitude journals are something that is widely researched through psychology and work very effectively. This is as easy as once per day. You can have some Post-its. I got Post-its next to my computer. of writing out something that happened during your day that you're grateful for. It could be an interaction with a person. It could be just some little moment that you had of like not a lot of traffic, or I'm grateful for a great meal I had for lunch. But sharing something you're grateful for is that reset that we experience through the mind that is so powerful and well documented for people when they get in a stress rut, when they're feeling really burnt out or depressed or anxious. It can recenter them. Of course, I'm an active meditator, so I believe in meditation, but even if meditation isn't quite your thing, writing out your gratitude each day, well documented, can't encourage it enough. A few questions might have come in here. Gratitude is a wonderful concept to encourage and reinforce. I'm completely with you there, Jay. And it doesn't take a lot, right? It just takes our awareness to slow down and come into the moment. And all the different positions that go through Win Resorts, there's so much good in any moment that's going on. But sometimes we forget. We forget to encourage each other, to uplift each other, to say, hey, that was an awesome job you did dealing with our guests. And I know they were upset or angry, but you did a great job assisting them the best you could. These little moments, when we get that feedback, it makes a huge difference. And of course, there's a time and a place for us to get kind of corrected or get constructive feedback. We need that balance, but we also need plenty of gratitude, because I know so many of you are doing awesome things at your job every day. And when those are noticed, yeah, we feel so motivated. So I love that. Let's see. Can you repeat your personal YouTube name? Yeah. So it's called A Modern Therapist. I'll type it in here right now. So I make a lot of different videos for gratitude, for meditation that can help with stress relief. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Yep, I make a lot of videos on there. So a lot of those practices, if you want to engage in something each day to help reset you, you can definitely check me out. Roderick says, love the new perspective on cultivating gratitude. I have never meditated before. Enjoyed it. Thanks for the additional practice. Of course, I appreciate your openness to moving into that space. A lot of people meditate and don't even realize they meditate. I know last time when I was talking to Encore Boston, we had someone asking, I go for walks. And when I go for walks, I can pay attention a lot to what's going on around me. It's my way of relieving stress. Is that a form of meditation? Absolutely. Some people go outside and they shoot baskets, right? They play basketball. That's their meditative practice where they're just there in the moment. But there's a lot of research to show when we get out of that stress-filled mindset of worrying, trying to perceive all these different threats, we come into the moment. Any way we cultivate that is great for your mental health. Excellent. So I really appreciate you all taking the time today to do that with me. And I hope as you go forward, working for a great company like Win Resorts, that you can share some gratitude with other people. I would love to hear back how that experience made you feel when you reached out to somebody, maybe still in your workday left today, especially if you're out in the Vegas location. But see, maybe even if you wait till tomorrow, just to thank somebody, to encourage somebody. Again, it has a powerful impact. And again, if you think about all the times you've received encouragement or gratitude, it is such a motivator. So I hope you take me up on the psychology behind that and you practice that for yourself. But yeah, I thank you so much for the time here. I'll pause just to see if there's any final questions just for a second as I sip my tea real quick. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Thank you so much. I hope you continue your gratitude practice, whether formally or informally. And if I can ever be any assistance to you, reducing stress, cultivating some gratitude, reach out to me again on any of the social media platforms. Thank you so much, Win Resorts. I hope you have a very grateful day. I'll see you next time.